America Meditating Blog Talk Radio Show. We collect wisdom, hear stories, and inspire each other. I'm Sister Jenna. Tune in live from Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. Do you like to meditate? Have you tried to meditate? Have you struggled with meditation? Why don't you visit one of the Brahma Kumaris Meditation Center? Visit brahmakumaris.org.
There's no place like home.
Getting home safely is just a click away. Find the right seat for your little one's age and size. Visit safercar.gov/the right seat for more information. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
He ran for state office and was beaten. Started a business and failed. Ran for Congress and lost. But thankfully, Abraham Lincoln didn't give up. Persistence. Pass it on. From the Foundation for a Better Life at values.com.
Welcome to the America Meditating Radio Show. I'm your host, Sister Jenna. We're broadcasting from the Meditation Museum in the nation's capital. And I hope today finds you in a good spirit, in a good space, in a deeper place of knowing yourself. Haven't you ever noticed how when your back's against the wall, right? Or there's a problem in a relationship or a situation, or there's financial issues, you go in either direction. Go deeper into your truth and your power, which I call God, or you go into the problem, looking at what went wrong, could you have done better, do you criticize, do you do the blame game? Then you realize it's just way too much for you, because if you go in the other direction, where it's the blame game, the criticism, the worrying, the doubt, the who was wrong, who was right, it debilitates the soul's energy, and you feel just powerless. And when you're powerless, you get very angry with yourself. And we've seen that over and over again, haven't we? And in seeing that, we've also realized our own fallacies or our own shortcomings. And so this is what America Meditating Radio Show is all about. It's about getting to the core of the solution from within. It's about no longer looking at what other people are doing or thinking or should have done, but it's about how am I supposed to be feeling? What am I supposed to be doing? I'm the one that's in charge of me, no one else really. And we've really come to learn that more and more, that we can't change anyone, and as much as we wish we could, it has not been done so far. I mean, we have initiated inspiration of others to be better, but at the core and at the end of the day, I've got to do my homework on me. Stay tuned, because we're going to have Kristin Hoffman on the air, a beautiful young woman that I met at the Conscious Life Expo while I was in LA this year. She's going to be sharing with us a little bit about her journey. But before I get Kristin on the line, why don't we go into our meditation and do what we do best. Go into our silence, into our space, and let it go. Breathe in. Good. Relax. All is good, even if it doesn't seem that way for now. It's going to be good. So from my off-the-grid, new released CD, let's go into the Letting Go meditation track. Om Shanti. The time that we choose to be aware doesn't necessarily require me to just sit and meditate. But even while I walk and move around, I can be in a meditative awareness, which is awareness of the soul, the original, eternal, imperishable being of light. For a little while, I'd like to invite you to be present, to be here, and to be now. Allow your mind to settle in the moment, to relax. This meditation is about awareness. It's about becoming aware of your original and eternal self. It's about connecting to your truth. let go of your name. And observe yourself feeling nameless. Let go of your gender to discontinue thinking you're a man or a woman. Let it go and observe how you would feel walking around without a gender. Let go of the role that you play and let go of the titles that you own. Observe how you're feeling as you are gradually letting go. Let go of your religion and put it aside just for now. And let go of your nationality and even the language that you're accustomed to. Imagine you have no name, gender, role, title, religion, nationality, or even a language. Ask yourself, how do you feel at this moment? And in this feeling, who would think of you and who would you think of? The Supreme Soul would think of you, and you, the liberated soul, would think of the Supreme. In this state of absolute freedom, I am truly who I am. A free, peaceful, pure, immortal, and eternal soul. Allow yourself to just be absorbed in this awareness. At this time, so, are you ready to really start the day off on the right note? Starting at age 4, pop songstress and multi-instrumentalist Kristin Hoffman began treading down the path of her dreams, and in addition to stints at major record labels and song placements on hit TV shows like Dawson's Creek and Palmetto Pointe, she has shared stages with many musical luminaries. And with a strong sense of artistic altruism, she's most passionate about projects that explore music's healing power and allow listeners to tap into their higher potential. And I witnessed that, where this soul actually really came from a genuine place from within. Now, Kristin has actually composed songs for health and challenged children, performed her song for the ocean at environmental awareness conventions around the world, and she became the singer for Bella Gai, a multimedia immersive theater experience created in conjunction with NASA. So stay tuned for the upcoming March release of the meditational film called Amazing Space, for which Kristin composed the soundtrack on that. So we would like to warmly welcome Kristin to the AM show. Welcome, my dear.
Good morning, Sister Jenna. It's such an honor to be here.
I know, it's so nice to connect again. You know, I remember you because you just touched so many of us at the Conscious Life Expo, and I just love the work that you do.
Thank you so much. It was such a beautiful sharing space to be in that weekend, and I was so deeply touched by you as well, in both in the opening ceremony, and I was able to attend the healing panel that you were on the following day, and I was just so deeply touched. So
I felt a little bit like the oddball because I was so different. Everyone else was having spirits moving their tables, and I was like, look, you know, I just go to the source. I just experience stuff. I don't know what you're talking about.
I thought that was the most beautifully, the most incredible moment when you said, I haven't had any of these bed-shaking experiences, but I've always felt connected.
Isn't that something? And it was just so hilarious.
Yeah. No, it was perfect. It was perfect. And then when it was perfect that you were at the end of the line too. So all of these accounts from life of seeing spirits and ghosts and whatnot since childhood, and then you were like, you know what? Let's just bring it to simplicity and silence.
I tell you, it's true, and it was interesting because some of the individuals who, you know, have really been into that realm of thinking and consciousness,
yes,
there were some individuals there that just like, you know what, it really isn't about that. That's still a distraction. I need to get to the source. So it was interesting to actually attract some individuals who felt like that was one particular stage of my life, but I think it's time for me to get to the source of my solution and still not use props, you know?
Yes. I couldn't agree more. And it definitely came across in a profound way.
Well, now let's talk about you. I know that you were classically trained as a pianist and a vocalist as a child, but what actually inspired Kristin in music, especially at such a young age? Is just something that's rolling over, some past karma?
Yeah, around the age of about 12, or maybe even a little earlier, 11, 12, 13, I started to really feel this creative force within me and this desire to just go sit at a piano all day and really tune into that space of listening to the notes and feeling energy come through me and just feeling the meditative qualities of music and how through song we can open up a space for peace and healing. And that's why I wasn't really in tune with those words per se at that early age, but I was feeling the effects myself. And as I got older and started to really tune into what that meant more for others, I realized, oh my goodness, music is this powerful language that we can all tap into, and it can really be this incredible vehicle and common ground for us to come to and raise our frequencies. And so that's always been the place that I've been most inspired, you know, to explore when it comes to music. And it's an interesting space because in the music world there's the majority of people who are playing music for notoriety and, you know, as this kind of outward performer experience. And then there's this much smaller group of people who are tuning in and who have discovered it as a source of sharing on much higher levels. And I think they're really two totally separate things. So
yes, it is separate because there's a way that you can manipulate I would call it the vices in soul, which is governed by ALGE. I use that acronym all the time. Anger, lust, greed, attachment, and ego has an audience. Yes. And there isn't one single person in the world that's not influenced by that level of consciousness. But there are also individuals who are trying to move themselves and move also their brothers and sisters out of the consciousness of ALGE into the consciousness of truth. And they are few and far between. However, when they impact the life of one, I think they impact the life of a million. And so it's not even in the numbers, you know, it's not in the numbers game anymore, but it's more in the quality game. So, you know, looking at your music up until now, how would you describe your sound and what is the inspiration, the deep inspiration behind your music? Is it really about healing or is there something more too?
Well, I would say when I describe my music, it feels like a collage of different, you know, influences from my own life, from the classical realms, from the ethereal realms, from the new age realms, and even pop realms and whatnot. So on an actual kind of the physical level of music. It's a collage of these different sounds that I've studied throughout my life. On a deeper level, though, I feel that it goes way beyond. Like, yes, it's almost not even about healing. It's just about creating a space. And that's always what it comes back to for me, is how can I create a space where music can be a guide. And in that space, you can't really give it a word. And it's funny because back a few years ago, when I was studying sound healing more often, I was actually talking about sound healing in my shows, and I would say, okay, this is a piece that I wrote for sound healing in particular, and I would play the piece, and I noticed that a lot of people would get scared, and it would bring up fear because a lot of people weren't ready for the idea of music for healing. And then I did an experiment about a year later where I said, you know what, I'm going to play these same pieces, and I'm going to stop giving it the label of healing, and I'm just going to open up the space and share the same music. And immediately it was a whole different experience, and people were just given that space and allowance to have it mean whatever it needed to mean for them at that time. And I think there's a great lesson in that is, you know, the more we label things, like you were saying before, the more those crutches, even with a word, it can get in the way of the true beauty and the space that can be created without those labels. So these days I really just try to open the space as genuinely and as peacefully as possible. And then in that space there's always a surprise. It's always the creative energy that starts to flow.
You know, it's interesting that you're mentioning that, you know, here you were telling folks about healing, and as you're actually playing your music, it's opening up things that are sitting there, what we call in Hindi or in Sanskrit, sanskaras, what the Western world of psychology, they call it subconscious. And so in the subconscious is where all of your deepest emotions and experiences are stored, things that you've turned your back on, things that you wanted to address, things that went so deep that you weren't even sure it went that deep. It's all sitting that part in the soul. So here you're saying that you were telling folks, you know, this is the healing, and they're hearing your music and it's affecting them. And then you just stopped. You didn't tell them what you were doing, and you just allowed it. It always amazes me, Kristin, when we don't label it, we don't give it the ego identity, people tend to be more open to it. And I've been learning that even with the word spirituality. Just like wisdom, use common sense, be good, be nice. And I realize that more people are more susceptible in receiving whatever's being shared as a gift versus closing the door and go, oh, I'm not spiritual. Everybody's spiritual.
Yes, for sure. Yes.
You know?
And just opening up the space. I found that when I really include people, especially if I'm doing an improvisation and really using music as a way to harness the immediate moment of creativity, if I open up the invitation to people who are in an audience to share in the co-creation of that energy coming through, magical experiences happen. Because music isn't just about somebody standing on stage or a band standing on stage and performing for a group of people. It's really all about the energies which exist in a space and the connectedness between all of the individuals becoming one in that moment. And can we all step into the space at the same time, and can we all help to let the music come through in a way where we can all be reminded of who we are at source, right? So
true.
That's my favorite part of sharing these days and creating. You know, as I'm creating for a CD, I'm thinking, how can I best clear myself so that I can allow this energy to come through in a way where it's going to reach people in an inclusive way, which feels universal, and kind of get out of the way of it, you know, myself.
Well, I think you're already doing that, because I think that as everyone starts to mature and grow, there was once that point where you had to extend yourself, you had to reach out, and then as we all kept doing that, there was still something that kept saying, well, you know what, if you just reach in, you're going to reach out. And then I'm realizing that as we go more into our own process in healing, a lot happens. And I know that during the tribute to Dr. Masaru Emoto at the opening ceremony at the Conscious Life Expo, you performed a song called Song for the Ocean. And you said it has a very important meaning for you because it ties into World Water Day, which will be observed on March 22nd. Could you tell us a little bit more about its meaning?
Sure thing. I wrote Song for the Ocean about 8 years ago for an ocean convention that I was singing in Florida, and they had collected about 1 million signatures to create World Ocean Day, which is April 22nd, as an official United Nations recognized holiday. And about a week before that show, it was nighttime, I remember, and I suddenly had this message, and it said, Kristin, you have to write a specific song for this event. This is going to be a very important song. It can be used as a way to get adults and children of all ages sing and really tune into the emotion of water and of consciousness and come together around the idea of healing our water on our planet. So I went to this convention. I shared this song for the first time, and I had everybody stand up and take a moment to meditate on their favorite experience with water, with the ocean, or set an intention for the future of the oceans. And then everybody was holding hands, and I looked out, and there were about 1,000 people, and we all shared this incredible experience, and people were crying and singing, and I realized again at that moment, wow, music is powerful, and this song can really be used as a true vehicle for healing within ourselves and within our world for when it comes to water. So since that day, I've been encouraging children all over the world to sing the song. I keep getting incredible videos from different school groups, from Australia to China to Brunei, Mexico, all over the world. Kids have been singing the song. And I have traveled to various conventions just sharing the message of water and awareness of water and healing. And I've found that, people can get up, scientists who have been studying for 20 years or whatnot, can get up and share all this amazing information about what is going on with our water and the need to tune into cleaning our water, to being resourceful with water and whatnot. But sometimes the information itself is almost too overwhelming for people, I find. Mm-hmm. And when you are able to then use a song which taps into a deeper, resonant, emotional space within folks, suddenly the song can kind of open up a space which isn't filled with fear. It can open up a space of possibility, and then the other information is digested, I think, more clearly and lovingly, and with more of an openness. So what I found is the song is just this beautiful way to really open people to a higher shared resonance and kind of a joy within, the joy of healing our planet, healing ourselves. So that's kind of the premise of how it all came about and the context of how it's been used. But I'm always being... Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No. You're definitely living the whole aspect in which you said that music is a tool for oneness, and so you're bringing the world together through music, and I've often believed that, and it's very powerful. And I think one of your latest projects is the soundtrack for the upcoming meditational film. I wish I'd known about that before.
Yes.
Called...
Well, I will send you a copy as soon as it comes out. Yes. I am so excited about it, and I actually just saw the full film the other day for the first time. I was so, you work on a project and you work on music for a film and whatnot, but then when you finally see it all come together into the final product, it's just so beautiful. I was in awe, again, watching all of the images from outer space. Basically, in a nutshell, it is it's an audio-visual journey through the cosmos. We designed this film so that you can tune in either for the whole 52 minutes, it's 52 minutes long, or if somebody just wants to sit down during the day and turn it on for 10 minutes and use it as a meditational guide, it can be used in any amount of time that you have. And what we've done is we've animated images from the Hubble telescope so that you feel like you're actually traveling through star clusters, nebulas, galaxies, and you can just zoom out from your daily life. So many times our daily lives we get so wrapped up in the chaos of society and whatnot, and we forget to zoom out and see the larger perspective of our lives. So this film is designed to help us to tune into the fact that there's so much more going on than we remember on a daily basis. And this film really, you can tune in and zoom out, and it is very effective to bringing life back into perspective in in a short period of time. And I just had the joy of creating this soundtrack for the film, and it was beautiful because most films you see the film first and then you score the music to the film. But in this case, we decided that the music was such an important part of the flow that I actually created the music first, and then the film was actually animated to match the music. So the music is almost like the narrator, the meditative narrator that guides you through these incredible images from outer space. From the Hubble. That's powerful. Yeah, and it's also the 25th anniversary of the Hubble telescope coming up in April. So we're actually releasing the film at the end of April. It'll align with the 25th anniversary. It's going to be a really beautiful thing. Yeah, I can't wait to see it because I love to zoom out and zoom in. It's one of my all-time favorite things to do in the day. And so what's next for Kristin? You know, what's next? Because Amazing Space is going to come out in April, then you've got Water Day on March 22nd, and you're playing music for that. Like, what's next for Kristin? Well, I have a couple new CD ideas planned, or recording ideas. One record that I've had the name of for a while is called Rainshine, and this will be one of my next records. And again, it's going to be kind of a collage of the sound of this record will be kind of neoclassical healing music, which you can just tune in and really go on a beautiful sonic journey. The idea of Rainshine, it came in a meditative state. I was meditating with my partner, Troy. He's an awesome, beautiful soul himself. We were meditating, and he had this vision, and he said, I just had this vision of you, and I asked you at your soul source, what is your name? And you said Rainshine. And I just loved it. And we started talking about what is Rainshine. And we came to the fact that Rainshine is that beautiful space where it just rains and the sun is shining on the rain, and you see that glimmer on the pavement or on the soil. You know, you're looking down to the earth and you see that beautiful glow of the rain and the water, and it's that space of pure potential, that space of the growth possibility. And I love that, the idea that we can always tune into our Rainshine and see that we're growing beings, and we can just love and accept ourselves in that beautiful moment of possibility that is now. So that's what Rainshine. That's what Rainshine is about. But it has Rainshine. I like that. That is so cute. No, but that is so adorable. I think that's going to be a winner because it's just so sweet, and it sounds like your partner is so innocently pure and beautiful that he just said, "Kristin, I had a vision. You're Rainshine." And I said, yeah, of course I am. So that's just the best part. Look, we have to close the show. I've really loved having this conversation with you. But before I let you go, is there a favorite life quote that you're living by? Or could you leave our listeners with a website that you think would be best for them to get a hold of you? And you come to Washington, D.C. and do a performance for me at the Meditation Museum soon, okay? I would love it. Let's make this happen for sure. This would be a beautiful thing, and I would love to come spend more time with you as well. Absolutely. So absolutely. I would just say in parting that I don't have a quote per se, but just the idea, and this is really my mantra, that every day, every moment, we can tune into ourselves and to find our path through life. We don't have to look out. We don't have to follow. We don't have to follow what the voices that have been ingrained in us throughout our lives that say, oh, you have to do it this way, you have to do it this way, follow in this person's footsteps. We're taught these things from childhood, and really it's about listening inward to yourself and letting go and letting go and letting go, and just really understanding who you are and how you travel through this lifetime. And so that's what I do my best to tune into that in my own world and just really listen. It's about listening to who you are. So I will leave you on that note. My website is KristinHoffman.com, and I'll spell it because there's a lot of double letters. So KristinHoffmann. So there's two N's at the end, .com. And you can go and visit me there. And the Amazing Space website is AmazingSpaceMovie.com. And please tune in to Amazing Space and share with us how your meditative experience has been with the cosmos. We would love to hear.
Beautiful. We'll definitely keep you posted on that. All the very best with everything that you're doing.
Thank you so much, Sister Jenna. It was
Take care,
beautiful
Kristin.
to hear your voice. I will talk
Same
to you
here.
soon.
How lovely that, you can do your music for healing, or you can do your music to take us outside of that realm of healing. And I think for all entertainers who are blessed with the gift of a voice or an instrument, to use it for the well-being of mankind, it's been, to me, I think, a very important thing. I think it's okay in terms of entertainment purposes. Okay, let's sell record deals. Look, I've got a mortgage to pay. But sometimes I'm just throwing this out, balance out that karma. You've got a talent, you've got a skill, and I always think about a lot of these entertainers and movie stars who have access to millions, if not billions of people around the world. There are few voices of what they tell folks or even entertain folks in something positive, whether it's anti-bullying, whether it's no drugs, whether it's to stop domestic abuse, whether it is about, raising awareness of youth empowerment, women empowerment. They create such an impact. And so I'm really urging all the entertainers to continue to combine some of their heartfelt, purposeful, meaningful talents to be upliftment to humanity. You've been listening to America Meditating Radio Show. We had the wonderful, talented Kristin Hoffman, and that's Hoffmann, which is her website, who I would really recommend that you go to get some of her music. Just a really beautiful heart. And as we end every show, remember, no one can take away your happiness unless you give them permission, and we are here to love each other the same. And so I hope that we will aspire to do that. Don't forget to get your copy of Off the Grid Into the Heart CD by yours truly, Sister Jenna. It means a lot to me. It really is about staying in the world, staying with it, but amplifying the quality of your feelings and pure wishes so that our humanity can be a much better place to residing. And we'll now end our show with the beautiful voice of Kristin Hoffman.
When a sister cries out, we all cry out.